61, clássico houve o clássico na primeira rodada.
And then, unexpectedly and surprisingly, Republican flags appeared everywhere. Nobody knew where so many had come from.
As minhas atuações no Barcelona foram responsáveis pela contratação de jogadores brasileiros para o Barcelona.
In just 25 years, FC Barcelona went from near bankruptcy to winning 35 trophies and then back to the brink of financial ruin. This rollercoaster journey reached its emotional climax on 5th of August 2021. The football world stood still as Lionel Messi, tears streaming down his face, bid farewell to FC Barcelona. But how did it come to this? How did a club that once dominated world football, which revolutionized the game with its tiki-taka style, suddenly find itself unable to keep its greatest ever player? In this video, we'll discover FC Barcelona's rise and fall from the very beginning. So let's get started. On November 29, 1899, Football Club Barcelona was officially founded in the Gimnasio Sole. 11 men, including Gamper himself, signed the club into existence. The early years were a struggle, to say the least. Barcelona didn't even have a permanent home ground. They bounced from one rented field to another, scraping together whatever resources they could. In 1910, the club finally got its first taste of success, winning the Copa del Rey. It was a moment of jubilation, a sign that perhaps the tides were turning. But the real challenges were yet to come, and Barcelona would soon face a test that would shake it to its very core. As the 1930s rolled in, dark clouds were gathering over Spain. The Spanish Civil War erupted in 1936, and suddenly football seemed trivial compared to the turmoil engulfing the nation. In August 1936, a tragedy occurred. The club's president, Josep Sunyol, a man known for his Catalan Republican ideals, was executed by Franco's troops. However, the end of the Civil War in 1939 didn't bring relief. Instead, it ushered in an era of repression under Francisco Franco's dictatorship. For Barcelona, this meant a direct assault on its identity. The club was forced to change its name to the more Spanish-sounding Club de Futbol Barcelona. The Catalan flag was stripped from its crest, and the use of the Catalan language was banned. Despite the challenges, Barcelona achieved some success on the pitch during this period. They won the La Liga in 1945, 1948, and 1949, providing a glimmer of hope to their beleaguered fans. But the real revolution was yet to come. In 1973, Barcelona was about to witness a revolution, and its name was Johan Cruyff. When this lanky Dutchman arrived at Camp Nou, Cruyff brought with him a philosophy called total football. The basic idea was that every player should be able to play in every position. In his very first season, Cruyff led Barcelona to a 5-0 thrashing of Real Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu. However, despite the excitement and the brilliant football, major European success still eluded Barcelona during Cruyff's playing days. The club won La Liga in 1974, ending a 14-year drought, but the European Cup remained out of reach. But don't be fooled, this period was about much more than trophies. As Cruyff's playing career at Barcelona came to an end in 1978, he left behind a club transformed. As the 1980s dawned, here entered Josep Luis Nunez, a man who would become the longest-serving president of the club's history, and a certain Argentine genius named Diego Maradona. In 1978, Nunez took the reins of Barcelona with grand ambitions. His goal was to transform Barca into a global powerhouse. In 1982, Barcelona broke the world transfer record to bring Diego Maradona to the Camp Nou. Maradona, the Pibe de Oro, was going to wear the Blaugrana. However, Maradona's time in Barcelona was marred by illness, injury, and controversy. The culmination came in the 1984 Copa del Rey final against Athletic Bilbao. After Barcelona's defeat, Maradona was involved in a mass brawl, fighting opposition players in front of King Juan Carlos, and it was the final straw. Shortly after, Maradona was sold to Napoli, leaving Barcelona with a bitter taste and a sense of what might have been. In 1988, Cruyff returned to Barcelona as manager with a vision. He was going to create a footballing philosophy that would echo through the ages, and thus, the Dream Team was born. We're talking about players like Pep Guardiola, the midfield metronome, Hristo Stoichkov, the tempestuous Bulgarian goalscorer, Michael Laudrup, the Danish wizard, and Ronald Koeman, the defender with a cannon for a right foot. The results were 4 consecutive La Liga titles from 1991 to 1994, but the crown jewel, the moment the Barcelona fans have been waiting for since the club's inception, came on May 20th, 1992 at Wembley Stadium. However, as with all great stories, one too had to come to an end. By 1996, despite the incredible success, cracks were beginning to show. Cruyff's relationship with President Nunez had deteriorated, and after a trophyless season, the Dream Team's architect was showing the door. The year 2000 saw the end of Nunez's 22-year presidency and the beginning of what can only be described as a nightmare for the Barca faithful. Enter Joan Gaspart. Gaspart took over the presidency with big promises and even bigger ambitions, but as the saying goes, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. On the pitch, things went from bad to worse. Barcelona slipped down the La Liga table, finishing 4th in 2001 and 2002 and a dismal 6th in 2003. European campaigns ended in early exits. The beautiful, flowing football that had defined the Cruyff era was nowhere to be seen. Barcelona found themselves in the bottom half of the table at the halfway point of the season. Finally, in February 2003, Gaspart resigned. He left behind a club in crisis, financially crippled, struggling on the pitch, and with a fractured relationship with its fans. After Gaspart came to Joan Laporta, a young lawyer with a vision to restore Barcelona to its former glory, his first masterstroke was signing a Brazilian player with a megawatt smile and feet that seemed to defy the laws of physics. I'm talking, of course, about Ronaldinho. Under Frank Rijkaard's management, Barcelona won La Liga in 2005 and 2006, but the crowning glory came in Paris in 2006 when they defeated Arsenal to win the Champions League. Ronaldinho was at the heart of it all, winning the Ballon d'Or in 2005 and FIFA World Player of the Year in 2004 and 2005. But wait, there's more. As Ronaldinho was lighting up the Camp Nou, a diminutive Argentine youngster was quietly making his way through the ranks. Lionel Messi, a product of La Masia, made his first team debut in 2004. As Ronaldinho's star began to wane towards the end of his period, Messi's was on the rise. The 2007-8 season saw Messi begin to take center stage, forming a lethal attacking trident with Samuel Eto'o and Thierry Henry. In 2008, a relatively inexperienced coach took over the reins at Camp Nou. His name? Pep Guardiola. Guardiola, a product of La Masia and a key player in Cruyff's Dream Team, took the principles he had learned and evolved them into something extraordinary. The results were staggering. In Guardiola's first season, Barcelona won an unprecedented treble, La Liga, Copa del Rey, and the Champions League. But they weren't done. In 2009, they became the first team to win 6 trophies in a calendar year, adding the Spanish Super Cup, UEFA Super Cup, and FIFA Club World Cup to their haul. Guardiola's tenure came to an end in 2012. He left exhausted, but triumphant, having led Barcelona to 14 trophies in just 4 years. Then, in 2013, Barcelona signed a contract that was supposed to secure their future. Neymar, the Brazilian wonder kid, arrived at Camp Nou in a blaze of excitement. Alongside Messi and Luis Suarez, he would form the MSN Trident, one of the most fearsome attacking lineups in football history. The trio led Barcelona to another treble in 2015 under Luis Enrique. It seemed the good times were set to continue. But all was not as it appeared. The Neymar transfer would come back to haunt Barcelona. Despite continued success on the pitch, including a La Liga and Copa del Rey double in 2016, cracks were beginning to show. The club's wage bill was spiraling out of control. Then in 2017 came the bombshell. Neymar, the player who was supposed to be Messi's heir, left for Paris Saint-Germain in a world record $222 million deal. Perhaps the most painful chapter in Barcelona's history, a chapter that saw the unthinkable happen. The departure of Lionel Messi. the greatest player in the club's history. In August 2020, Barcelona suffered a humiliation on the pitch that seemed to symbolize their decline. An 8-2 defeat to Bayern Munich in the Champions League quarter-finals sent shockwaves through the football world. The aftermath was chaotic. Coach Quique Setien was sacked, sporting director Eric Abidal left, and then the bombshell. Lionel Messi, frustrated with the club's management, announced his desire to leave. After Messi, Barcelona is in the process of rebuilding. New president Joan Laporta, who oversaw the club's rise in the 2000s, has returned to steer the club out of its crisis. But the road ahead is long and difficult. Barcelona's story is far from over, but it finds itself at perhaps its lowest ebb in decades. So what do you think? Can Barcelona rise again? Will they rediscover the philosophy that made them great? Share your thoughts in the comments below and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.